Maybe we should go a different route than we did with Indiana Jones.
Fuck Indiana Jones! Put a chick in it and make her name it gay!
Ah, Kathleen Kennedy, the woman who took a beloved galaxy far, far away and somehow managed to drag it down to Earth with a thud so loud you could hear millions of fans cry out in disappointment. As she prepares to retire at the end of 2025, it's time to reflect on her legacy at Lucasfilm, a legacy filled with missed opportunities, baffling creative decisions, and a relentless dedication to progress that seemed to leave storytelling behind. Join me, dear viewer, as I dive back into the raging dumpster fire that is Disney's Star Wars. Before we dive in, take a quick second to hit that subscribe button, and if you really want to make sure you never miss out, ring that notification bell too. It'll help us break through the YouTube algorithm and keep this channel growing strong. When Disney bought Lucasfilm in 2012 for $4 billion, fans rejoiced. Finally, new Star Wars movies. What could possibly go wrong? Enter Kathleen Kennedy, a producer with an impressive resume of failing her way upwards faster than Kathy Hochul ever could, and who somehow managed to turn a cash cow into the raging dumpster fire that it is today. Tasked with shepherding one of the most cherished franchises in cinematic history, she opted for the bold strategy of alienating longtime fans while trying and failing to attract new ones. Under Kennedy's watchful eye, the sequel trilogy was born. 3 movies so disjointed and poorly planned that they made the prequels look like masterpieces of narrative cohesion. 2015's The Force Awakens was essentially a remake of A New Hope, but with a shinier coat of paint. Copy pasta, as I like to call it. It introduced us to Rey, a character so perfect at everything she did that she made Superman look underqualified. But hey, Kennedy's vision was clear. Why bother with character development when you can just say girl power and call it a day? Then came 2017's The Last Jedi, a movie so polarizing it practically divided the fan base in two. Rian Johnson's subversion for the sake of subversion approach was apparently met with enthusiastic applause from Kennedy, who didn't seem to care that Luke Skywalker, arguably the most iconic hero in cinematic history, was reduced to a bitter old man who milks alien sea cows. And why would she? Emotional payoff and narrative consistency are just old-fashioned, toxic ideas anyway. Finally, 2019 brought us The Rise of Skywalker, which tried desperately to course-correct the mess, only to stumble into a convoluted finale that included Emperor Palpatine returning with no explanation other than somehow. By the end, fans were left scratching their heads, wondering how a trilogy could feel so disconnected when it was supposed to be one cohesive narrative. Oh, that's right, there was no plan. Genius. It wasn't enough to completely fuck up the main saga. Kennedy also oversaw the Anthology films, which were supposed to expand the Star Wars universe, but mostly ended up as forgettable footnotes. I'll admit that 2016's Rogue One was actually decent, despite reshoots that made the movie feel like it was directed by 2 different people. But then 2018 Solo happened, a movie so unnecessary and poorly marketed that it lost money, an almost unthinkable achievement for a Star Wars film. You really have to try hard to make a Star Wars movie flop, but Kennedy and her team pulled it off with flying colors. It wasn't all bad, I guess. Under Kennedy's reign, The Mandalorian debuted on Disney Plus and became a massive hit. But let's be honest, its success is largely due to Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, 2 creators who actually understand Star Wars. And when left to her own devices, Kennedy's team gave us the Book of Boba Fett, a series so dull that viewers actually cheered when the main character was replaced by the Mandalorian halfway through. One of the most remarkable aspects of Kennedy's leadership was her uncanny ability to surround herself with a team of yes men and woke activists who seemed more interested in checking boxes than telling compelling stories. Diversity and representation are important, but they mean nothing if the characters are hollow and the stories are boring. Just take a look at Finn and Captain Phasma. You could have absolutely given them interesting backstories as original black and female characters. Kennedy apparently missed that memo, choosing instead to lecture the fan base while simultaneously misunderstanding what made Star Wars special in the first place. Kathleen Kennedy's time at Lucasfilm will be remembered as one of the most divisive eras in the history of Star Wars and cinema as a whole. She was the largest part of what made the dark age of cinema so damn, well, dark. Under her leadership, the franchise went from being a unifying cultural phenomenon to a fractured, contentious mess. Fans who grew up loving the originals and even the prequels found themselves alienated, while the new generation she was supposedly catering to quickly lost interest or wasn't even interested in it to begin with. As Kathleen Kennedy prepares to step down, there's a glimmer of hope that Star Wars can be saved from the brink of cultural irrelevance. The fandom remains divided, sure, but maybe, just maybe, a new leadership will remember that at the heart of Star Wars are timeless stories about good versus evil, hope versus despair, and heroes who grow and change. It's about time the franchise remembered its roots. Kathleen Kennedy's tenure at Lucasfilm is a masterclass in how not to manage a beloved property. From inconsistent storytelling to pandering politics, she took a golden opportunity and flushed it completely down the toilet. Her insistence on surrounding herself with sycophants and ideologues rather than genuine storytellers led to a series of movies and shows that felt more like checklists than they did narratives. So will Star Wars recover? Only time will tell, but for now, as the credits roll on Kathleen Kennedy's career, fans can finally dare to hope that the Force will be with the franchise once again. But what do you guys think? Do you share my sense of optimism, or is Star Wars truly dead? Please do let me know down below in the comments, and as always, hit that like button, ring that notification bell, and smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.
Okie dokie.